Hey guys, Kafir just released another awesome update. It is the Ice Abode, which is what they said would be the next update, which is kind of encouraging in and of itself. With Jotunheim, they said it was the next update, but then there was like a fix here and a do all good updates, but it took a little while. Well, they said the Ice Abode would be next, and they went ahead, and it was the next. So this OBT is good. It is right now the Ice Abode's 4 hours. I don't know if that's how it'll be in the original game. That's the main change. Well, I'm going to go into all the changes. I'm going to go into them in two different ways. And I'm not going to go into every single change like I do in a hidden changes video. This is just to give you an idea of the update. Normally, in order to get into the Ice Abode, you're going to need 5 ice keys. And the way you get those ice keys here, those 5 ice keys, I'm going to use a dragon nail. You do need to use a dragon nail in this area. There's 2 ways to make dragon nail, which you guys should probably already know that, but I'll make sure to show you really the 3 ways. You can see I've already cleared this one out, and this event is good. Kafir's good. Frostborn has awesome co-op events, the ways the skills work together, the way players work together. This is going to be really fun for 4 players. If you have a 4-player team, this is the time to get them to come back together and do this event because it's going to be really dynamic and fun. It's kind of like Odin's, a lot smaller scale. It's just a small challenge, but it's a good one, and it's a good co-op challenge. So you kind of break through here. The enemies are pretty easy with a fire dagger. They're going to be a lot harder. You don't have any of the like 150 hit point enemies like you do in Odin's, and everyone needs to have dragon nails. So this is definitely a more expensive event. You've got this note here about Kyrgyz altar, and it seems like they're going to have a few of these throughout the northern zone. When you go straight, this door is going to be closed, and it's going to be like, hey, you can't get into it. And there's going to be, you could go right, but you're not supposed to. You're going to eventually get a trap there too. This door you'll be able to open. You can fight. Then you pull this lever. When you pull this lever, there's also this chest is pretty good. It's like one of the Odin's chests that is a little bit better than the other Odin chests. It's a pretty good one. And so and then once you pull that lever, it's going to unlock this door over here. And then when you break into this room, you're going to be able to pull this lever. This chest is another one of those pretty good ones. It's got sealing wax. It might have a weapon. It's like just one of those good Odin chests. And then that's going to open this room where you're going to fight the bosses. I'm going to show you that here in a second. And then you fight these 2 bosses, which are really hard. I mean, it's hard solo. It's not going to be as hard not solo. And then you get the final box, which when I did it, it was not that great. But I hear that, I don't know. Hopefully they'll buff the loot if everyone gets as bad as loot. And I'm going to show that to you guys here in a second. So that is the Ice Abode, and the enemies are pretty hard. I'm going to show you those as well. All of this I'm going to show you, but I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of the event. Great graphics, kind of the typical Kafir or typical Frostborn. Great graphics. It's a great co-op event. So that's the overall, but let me go in and show you guys a little bit more of how it actually looks. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go home because it also created a bunch of new workbenches that I want to show you. Okay, so this is part of the live stream that I did with a lot of you guys. And you can see here that in order to get the 5 keys, you have to go and get them. And you can get them from caretakers and you can get them from giants. So this is me doing a really bad job of trying to get the keys. Don't do what I did. I wanted to do it quickly, so I went during the hailstorm. And, that definitely took a little bit of time because, obviously when you do it from a fire, you have to like run from the fire. I got lucky on finding a giant for that one pretty quickly. So you can see here, I'm just, using good gear to kill him. And so once you loot them, you get one of these ice keys, and you got to kill, caretakers and giants. You need to kill 5 of them to be able to get into the Ice Abode. That took me quite a while, especially because I was doing it in the Hellstorm. I couldn't just run around. I had to go look around and get stunned and run back and feed myself. It was pretty annoying, and it took a long time. But once I finally got there, I put the 5 keys in there, and that's what unlocks it. Okay, and then it kind of starts out here. This is where I was testing out to see if I actually needed Dragon Nail in it, and you do. You need to have Dragon Nail. So I was just making sure, seeing if once you were in there, you didn't need it as bad, but you do. And you can see here that, I was able to reset that giant and only fight this guy. Definitely use that to your advantage if you're fighting these guys with spears as a team or something like that. You're going to want to use that resetting so that you're not getting swarmed all the way to the end. Makes it a lot easier than Odin's. Obviously, there's a lot of other factors that are harder than Odin's, but so I'm luring this guy out. This is kind of the typical Odin's move, but then I run away. I accidentally reset him, which I didn't want to do, and so it's kind of an interesting thing. And then this guy's a giant chief, so I'm going assassin and I'm doing fire dagger, which I guess if you're going solo, that's about as good as a way to do it. But you're going to use quite a bit of your fire dagger. You're not going to be able to kill him with just your sneak attack and then another. And if you run away to reset him, he's going to heal all the way back up. And the ice hermits too, you're going to end up having to do more than just 2 hits with your fire dagger. You're going to have to do, I was able to do 4 hits, 4 durability on my fire dagger for the ice hermit. I'm pretty sure I had to do like 7 for the ice chief. You can't reset them. So but that's still pretty good. That's not that much of repairing your fire dagger. So I still think the fire dagger is the best bet. Okay, so you can see here where I'm kind of going, and now the ice raiders, you can't sneak. You can reset them, but you can't sneak up on them again. So I just kind of wait around until I can kill this guy. All right, so then I'm sneaking up on this last guy. Again, just taking one guy at a time, resetting if I need to. And so then this lever is what opens that other section of the Ice Abode. All right, and then this door, all it has is a chest. There's no enemy in it. And the chest is okay. It's like a decent, chest in Odin's. It's got those tiers and the hammers, which is really good. You need those to get the best, those workbenches. And then this is still locked. That's not the door it opens. It opens this door over here, right there. And so there's 3 enemies in this room. You want to get them one at a time. So I'm using the fire dagger here. Obviously, it's going to be easier to go the healer and spear combo. This is a much better challenge if you go as with friends. Now, even though they heal when they reset, it's still good to reset them sometimes just so you get that first sneak attack in there. And then this guy, I go ahead and get 2 sneak attacks and finish him off. So, and you get ice keys from the giants in this as well. So I got 5 ice keys, so I can do the Ice Abode again without having to go farm for it, which is really nice. Now this room has another chest, but it also has an ice raider. And again, even if you reset the ice raiders, you can't sneak up on them later. So after you kill that guy, you can come over here to this chest, and it's it's kind of cool. It's got a frost weapon in there and some sealing wax and decent stuff. Probably not worth it's probably not worth the resources you're using unless you're really trying to get those workbenches where you get those tiers. And that's going to open this door. Now this door these are the bosses, and this is the end of the Ice Abode. And so you got these 2 bosses. Now I had to do it solo, so I'm not 100% sure how tough it gets, but there's two guys. There's Hertha and there's Ragna, and they're both tough. I'm over here with the 5-shot crossbow, And, this is my first time. I have no clue what I'm doing. And you can see, Hertha's over here healing himself. I'm doing a ton of damage to Ragna. Hertha does, you can't dodge that attack she's doing. So you want to take out, at first I was like, I definitely want to take out Hertha first. She's healing. I find out later that all heal. And so I'm actually not 100% sure yet which one to take out first. You can see Hertha's healing like a lot. And I thought she was healing Ragna, but she wasn't. And Ragna, you can see that was not that hard of an attack. Now Ragna, once you kill one of them and this gate opens, my suggestion, I'm going to test this, is to just leave the area. Just go and leave it. I got Ragna down really low health, and but then you can see he becomes this unbelievable tank. I mean, like such a difficult tank to kill. I'm using a purple weapon and I'm doing 6 damage. It crazy. Okay, so at this point I leave, which I kind of, it's pretty funny to watch in the live stream itself, but you can see Ragna starts healing like crazy, and I'm like, well, screw it. I want to see what weapons to use. So then I bring out a fire bow, and this is what's crazy, guys. The fire bow does 6 initial damage and like 1 damage per second. Like, Ragna is just this crazy tank, and I don't know if it's because he's in grief because, I killed his sister. I don't know if these are what they are, but I'm just this is a really funny part of the live stream because I have no clue how to do this. Like, I have no clue what to do. But the big thing you need to know, the reason why I think you should just leave the zone, leave the Ice Abode, and come back in is because this guy you can see how tanky he is. Now, if you're with a team, it may not be that big of a deal, but you also see how much more damage he's doing. You see that? He did 44 damage with a basic attack. Watch what his skill does. Okay, so right here, he hits me, and he does 148 damage. And so, I don't know if you can see me right here, but I'm like, oh man. I don't know if you can see me right here, but I'm like getting so frustrated. You guys should go watch the live stream. It was pretty funny. This battle in particular was quite mind-boggling. But I think the door's open. I think if I left the Ice Abode, it would be good. Because what ends up happening is I kind of figure out a system. I've got the stun traps, which are expensive. I don't recommend using stun traps, but this is what I do. And I'm doing some pretty good damage. I'm doing like 12 damage a shot. I'm doing 3. Well, then he gets enraged. You can see he was moving a little faster. I didn't quite notice at the time. Look how much damage I'm doing to him. I was doing 1 damage to him. 1 damage. And then he one-shotted me. Look at this. I had 162 health left. Look at that. 1 damage, 2 damage. I have 162 health. And a basic attack crazy kills me, okay? So I'm not 100% sure what to do. I think that if you're with a team and you want to kill him, like you want to finish this off, you need to kill Ragna first. Because I think Ragna is they're the one that gets kind of vicious, the one that is like, no, I'm gonna take vengeance on my lover being killed. And they kill like crazy. So I think if you kill Ragna first, then maybe Herna won't go crazy. But maybe Herna will go crazy. I haven't seen. I'm going to try that out next. I'm going to try that out tomorrow. And so, regardless, my suggestion is just to leave because, like y'all saw, I ended up dying. Then when I come back, Ragna's over here. I'm doing full damage to Ragna again. I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh, this is going to be such a hard battle. So I set up all these traps, which I forgot about the 5 trap rule, which was dumb. But my thought is I'm going to get Ragna down to like 20% health. And then when she goes into crazy rage mode, I'm going to use these traps and kind of like have her follow the path, and so here we go. We get to the bottom, and she starts healing, and I'm just laying into her, stun her, kill her. It was like easy. I didn't use any of these traps. Complete waste. So I have two theories. Either just leave and come back and she'll have cooled down from all of her vengeance about losing her lover, or kill Herna first, or kill Ragna first, and then see if Herna's not as bad. So I'm going to test both of those theories, but that's just letting you guys know. But you guys get the idea. All right, and then I get here and I open the final chest for the final loot, and I'm going to be a little honest. This was kind of disappointing. I mean, it's nice to get these elixirs. The elixirs are awesome. The Kyrgyz staff is okay, but personally, I mean, the Dragon Ale's cool too, because you need it to do it again. And I got all the ice things. I just think Kefir needs to upgrade this, because this stuff is not good enough to make it worth it. I think they need to add a guaranteed purple item in addition to an elixir. That's my opinion. I don't think it's worth it. I do think it's worth it to do it just for the fun of it when it first comes out. And I bet you that eventually we're going to have to do the Ice Abode enough to get the keys to the Hall of Kyrgyz. But as it is, that is not the case. So just to kind of finish, this is kind of to tell you about the update. This update is a little bit different than any update Frostborn has ever done, in the fact that it's actually two parts. And what I just showed you guys is the first part. The second part is going to be a little bit more twofold. So they've got these players that when you interact with someone, you can make them your favorites. You can have friends. You can chat with them, I presume. And this is a really good sign, because this is like this might be pre-arena stuff right here, that we can like schedule a duel with each other. It's going to be really cool. But the other thing is that they added 9 new workbenches, which sounds like a lot. And so you got log storage, which basically you hire a lumberjack, a place of work for a lumberjack. I don't know how you hire them. And but this isn't actually in this OB2 yet. I'm going to make another video when that update comes out. I'm going to call it a new update, even though technically y'all are going to get both updates at the same time, if I understand it right. But you can see here when I try to craft it, it says next update, which is talking about the next OBT update. And then you can build these things to make it go faster. So it's kind of like a Valheim type of, these other things don't do anything. They just benefit the original one. So there's free lumber. It's wood and maple. Then there's free stone and copper ore. And then there's the Hunter Shack, which is free meat and rawhide. Yeah, so I'm intrigued by these. They're, I don't know, I like having a bigger crafting tree, and so there's definitely, they can add stuff that even if I don't like it, the fact that it gives more diversity to people. I do like the idea of maybe you work really hard and get something, as long as it's not pay to win, I'll be cool with it. Actually, even if it's pay to win, I don't know if I'll be that bothered by it, because the truth is just going to have you farm for basic resources anyone could go farm for. So actually, it's probably going to be, I imagine it should be pay to win now that I think about it, because the free-to-play players can go grind their own, wood. And so who knows? I don't know what it's going to be, but it's not going to mine anything that's that crazy. If you're a free-to-play player and it becomes pay-to-win, just remember that the last update they introduced Jotunheim, which is like free everything, like so many resources for so little cost. I mean, little cost on your pickaxes. I mean, just triple the resources. It's pretty amazing. So I'm not sure what they're going to do, but as soon as it does, I'm going to make another one of these videos and let you guys know what Kafir's up to. But that's it. I mean, it's a pretty good update. It's a fun event, and those bosses are fun. I can't wait to, this looks like it's going to reset in about 25 minutes. I'm going to go back at it again. I'm going to learn, what is it with these bosses. The bosses are really hard, and I like that. It's a fun challenge, and so we need to figure out how to go at it. All right, guys. I'll see you next time.